Life Audio.
Today I'll talk about that. John makes sermon illustrations about soda and hosts a Santa convention at the church. Meanwhile, I tell you the story of Elmo testifying before Congress and wonder if police dogs know that they're cops. Plus, a conversation about mercy and sin and why our perspective of how God sees us is so important. Today's episode is not sponsored by rainbows. We just escaped from Prism.
What's up out there, podcast listening world? It's John and Jonnie. Not leaving you hanging, but coming back for another week to talk about that.
Spring, we're springing forward because it's...
We've already sprung forward.
Well, I'm saying we're a part of it because we're...
Did you post your annual spring forward thing, or have you stopped doing that?
I haven't done it this year. I need to do it next time. Every daylight savings, whether it's spring or fall, I post the same old joke, and it's a news story that I made up using some old Photoshop program where it's a man in a full body cast in the photo in a hospital bed. He's like in traction, and it says, daylight savings disaster. Man on trampoline springs forward, falls back.
That's one of my favorites.
And I always post, I'm going to post this every year until it gets the attention I feel it deserves.
And then you just stopped.
And it never really fully got the attention I felt it deserves, but maybe.
You got too big for the joke, Jonnie. And I am here to call you out on it.
I have changed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So if you hear any clatter behind us.
Clatter.
The reason I used clatter, we sprang from our chairs to see what was the matter. Our church is very unique. And I will say that about this church. I should give proper credit to the culture of our church, because when I moved here in 2006 to take the job cleaning the church and possibly teaching Sunday school and finding my way in ministry, I was pretty lost. I had no idea what I was going to do. And like a year and a half later, I was starting to do stand-up, and I was doing all these comedy bits and our announcements, and I was doing all this stuff. Well, a lot of that's the culture of this church is very just open to, part of it's Nashville in general. We're an entertainment town, but I do feel like Pastor Andrew, the thing he built here was just, there was a lot of dreamers here. And he was just so like, oh, if you want to do that, do it here in this service. And he would just give you like wind under your sails, or under your sails.
He can really get under your sails.
He really, like Marilyn Monroe was holding my dress down. No, it was wind under my sails, but you are the wind under my sails. But anyway, I give Pastor Andrew and this church a lot of credit for me doing what I'm doing. But having said that, we've attracted some interesting events over the years. Mm-hmm. We've done Christian Comedy Association conferences here where a bunch of like comedians who are faith-based just descend on our church for 3 days, and it's 200 comedians, which is not as fun as you'd think it is. It's a lot of work.
Those guys.
It's a lot of work. But I will say this one takes the cake now, because Pastor Andrew called me today and he said, "Where are you the next 3 days?" I said, "I'm actually leaving for my bus tour today, but I'm coming over to podcast with John here soon." And he said, "Get here as soon as you can." He goes, "The next 3 days, we have 100 plus Santas who have taken over the church for the Santa Summit."
Professional Santas. Our
former children's pastor, Pastor Roy Stone, is a Santa half the year. And he lobbied for our church, even though he lives in Florida now, he lobbied for our church to host this Santa Summit. And I mean, it's everything you can imagine. It's whatever you're picturing right now.
It's that.
It's a lot. First of all, it's a lot of red cars in the parking lot,
yeah, I was shocked.
Which is fun.
A lot of red cars.
A lot of red sleighs, if you will. And then you get in, there's booths that are selling like belts and hats and, black boots and all kinds of Santa accoutrements. I'm assuming there's going to be sessions. What are you doing, John? Get the logo back up there.
I've got it.
You're putting, there's a lot of like, are you a Santa? Are you a Santa? Do you want to be a better Santa? What does being a Santa mean?
Right. What does Santa mean?
I don't know what the sessions are going to be.
Heart.
Yeah. Is it like a lot of TED Talks?
Guys, don't forget, Santa's really alive.
Yeah.
In your heart.
That's true. Maybe the real friends were the Santas we met along the way. Anyway, the
calls are coming from inside the sleigh.
They are in our church. A lot of them. They're getting ready because it starts tonight, and they are being a little bit rowdy. So if you hear a clatter, That's what's the matter.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Santas out there, and I'm assuming they're giving beard grooming tips right now. There's a lot going on.
You can see some Santas that go as Santa all year.
Uh-huh. And then the ones who just put on the beard, and it's a play thing.
Like I wore a red shirt today.
Oh, okay.
I could walk out there and be like, hey, like I'm the...
See you guys in November. Look at this noob. They start mocking you. Look at this guy.
I remember Roy, because Roy is, when we say Roy's a professional Santa, like he's been featured on magazine covers.
Oh,
and
it's
stuff.
nuts.
The costuming
when he's in
does.
character, it is wild. Like we need to put a photo. I'm going to have them drop a photo. If we clip this out, you need to see what Pastor Rolly. It's almost like a throwback Santa. It's
like a Father Christmas Saint Nick thing.
But it's got a little steampunk in it too.
Yeah,
where he's got a little bit of the tiny spectacles sometimes in him, and it's got a little bit of like fun H.G. Wells vibe to it.
It does.
In a way.
It's pocket watchy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's very like there's texture in the vest, and like there's a lot going on. I mean, you would not know. With
it's
his
very well thought
and,
out. Yeah, it's not just like generic. It's not just the Coca-Cola bottle.
All you people out there with your generic Santas, listen.
Come on, man.
You don't even
put something on it. He has the little like wax at the end of the mustache sometimes, where it's like it curls up.
Yeah,
I've seen that before. That's a new thing.
If you thought about going out there and doing some comedy, I bet you could really slay them. Jonnie?
I thought that's what Andrew was going to call me to do. When he said, we got the Santas here, I thought he was going to be like, and you got to come over here. He was actually saying, get over here and just roll tape. Just bring a pad and pen and start writing down
when we pulled in the parking lot and the guy was walking out, he had a red, I think, long sleeve shirt on with red shorts and a big white beard, just walking to the parking lot to his car / sleigh. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I mean, again, it's just, I told the staff yesterday, I was like, this is a little more indicative probably of what mine and your time together on staff was like. Because we were hosting these kinds of things all the time.
Yeah, we had events a ton.
But it's not on your ministry bingo card. It's not like you go, you know what? I want to go into pastoral ministry so that someday I could be surrounded by 100 Santas walking outside of my office while I work. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. You think every other church has that? No.
I don't.
Does it help the kingdom? Maybe not. Does it grow the church at all? Nope.
Does it make us a lot of money? Probably.
No, it didn't do that either.
That's right.
But no, I mean, they're really nice guys, and we're helping them host. And it's Roy's guys and stuff.
And it's for the kids, John. It's for the kids who, the wonder of Christmas. Yes. Very important. We're fans of it.
Right. I mean, as a church, we don't necessarily teach the wonder of Christmas being about Santa in particular, what with the whole Jesus story and everything. But
this has got a lot. We're going to get a lot of emails. John, how would you send an angry email to us?
Send your angry email to hello@talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
We will read it on the air, and then you'll hear me crumpling it up and throw it in the wastebasket. Why don't you send it straight to our trash folder?
Yeah, that's at trash.
Trash at talkaboutthatpodcast.com. I need to make that an email for my website. I've always wanted to do that. If somebody says, like, how would I get in touch with it? I'd be like, trash@johnnyw.com. Just to like, have it be a real place.
I like that.
That would be fun. I need to do that.
I like
Sheesh. I did something kind of cool.
Okay.
We've not debriefed this. And I didn't know if I was going to actually share the story unless anything came of it. But it's one of those things like, I want to share my journey along the way.
Okay.
I was part of an audition Saturday at Zany's, my home club in Nashville, for The Tonight Show, for the producer of The Tonight Show.
You've not told me about this, yeah.
I got invited to be a part of it, which is cool, and do my 5 minutes with some other great comics who came in from all over the country. Some of them were Nashville natives, but some of them came from all over the country. And we got to the guy who books the comedians on Jimmy Fallon was in the audience, and it was a packed house, and I had a good set. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, so that's why I think I'll just tell everybody, hey, we did a thing, and it was fun, and now we see what happens, but it's cool. Sometimes you just do it, and it's a thing you did.
I mean, I don't want to have this conversation on the air if you don't want to.
Oh, I don't care.
But like, when do you hear anything?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you do hear anything. It's, I think I had a good set. That's all I can tell you. I mean, I don't really know what happens from here because that's how showbiz works. Is you just kind of slightly hurry up and wait. But it was just fun. Honestly, the really cool thing about it was that I was asked to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, would you want to do a set on this? It's during the Nashville Comedy Festival. There's 50 or 60 shows that happen this week, a million amazing shows, and this was one of the events, was a showcase for the booker of The Tonight Show. And I'm never home. I'm always gone on shows. And then I happened to be home a few days this past week, and they were like, "Do you want to do this?" And I was like, 100%. So we flew in early from my show in Detroit.
Well, and it's your home turf and all, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. And
was it at the lab or at the?
It was at the lab. Okay. Yeah, so it was really nice and intimate, and which honestly, that's about how many people come to the Tonight Show. What's funny about it is it's a very small studio. It looks big on TV, but it's about.
When they go up in the audience,
people.
I noticed like my wife and I laugh. She can't guesstimate the number of people. You know? But when you're a pastor, you're kind of used to like, okay, there's like 50 people here, but it could be 50 or 500. You know what I heard? And which, if you're in church, you always say it's 500.
Absolutely,
I mean, that's what you do. But I mean, I noticed that when Jimmy Fallon and them go up into the crowd, it's a lot fewer people than most people would think. But they lay them out nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's all about miking them correctly and all that stuff. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to share that I just think it's a cool little thing. It's like the next thing you do. Like, oh, I got a cool opportunity. I want to share it with the people who care about my career. But that's not to say like I'm going to be on the Tonight Show. It's just that I got to audition. But I mean, that's the next step. That's a step towards.
You can't be on there without auditioning.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
They're not probably.
You can't win the lottery unless you play. So I urge you guys to get out there and buy as many lottery tickets.
That's right.
So far we've encouraged Santa.
Yeah.
Lottery tickets.
Yeah.
And just in general, chasing a dream.
Yeah.
John, you know what else we like to chase?
What's that?
Money. And we want to thank our advertisers for helping us keep the lights on. We don't make a ton of money from the show, as you know if you listen, but we keep the lights on, and that's because of our wonderful advertisers. Let's take a minute, hear a few words from some of our fine sponsors.
Well, I, for one, want you to know that if you don't make it on the Tonight Show,
you're not going to ever.
I will feel no differently about you.
Oh, that's nice.
I
feel no differently about the Tonight Show. I'll feel like, well, look, you win some, you lose some.
They made the choice.
Fallon knows what he's doing over there.
Listen, I want to say this.
Oh boy,
and I know everyone thinks just because I'm Johnny's best friend or whatever, but I've been saying this since the beginning.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. They'd be fools not to have you on.
Come on, John.
It's kind of like, nice. And I'm sorry, I'm a little still wounded.
Yeah.
When we got to fly to California.
Yeah.
And I watched you get 4 yeses.
Yeah.
On AGT and standing O from 2 of them, right?
Three of the judges stood up, and I got 2 standing ovations from the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, guys, Johnny slayed on the biggest stage in America.
Yeah.
And the producers are like, you know what? I'm just going to go. No. I don't like what they did.
Bad impression.
And I have producers. A little bit. I mean, someone's got to stand up for Johnny.
It could still happen. I mean, that was 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, but it could still happen.
We're going back?
No, I mean, what's funny is a producer did reach out the next year. A different producer, casting producer, reached out, not knowing that I'd already auditioned the year before. They were like, we'd love to have you on season 17. They were going to fly me in the whole thing again.
Yeah.
And I was like, just so you know, I've been through this. And this is what happened. And I told them the whole story. And they were like, oh, yeah, you probably want to wait another year before you audition again. And I was like, okay.
But you weren't even on TV.
No.
Or they never even showed your audition.
They showed me in the background of someone else's.
But no one saw your act.
Right. No one saw the act. Yeah. But I think it's just a thing of like, if you go back again, it's like, oh, we saw this guy last year?
Yeah.
They need to forget you, I guess, maybe? I don't know.
I kind of think you don't need that. I mean, honestly.
I need to have a better story. I'm going to have you wait to the story that I tell him if I go on this time, it's going to be like, I lost my dog, I lost my house.
We could make, I have
lost a couple of dogs.
I've
lost a couple of dogs since then.
Yeah?
We don't even have dogs now. It's so sad at my house. It's very quiet at my house.
Yeah.
We're pondering, because Curry's home from the road because I'm doing some shows with Nate and some shows with John Christ in May. So she's basically off the road for like a month and a half.
Oh, no.
And she's like...
she's going to get a dog.
She's thinking about fostering. But fostering is like hard to let go. Fostering is like you get a dog and then you have to decide, do I take this dog back to the place that is the rescue and say like, we're done fostering now, knowing that it's just back in harm's way again.
Yeah, why is it not just adopting? Does anyone ever bring the dog back?
Oh, they do. I mean, sometimes you foster a dog and then you find them their forever home and then you get the next dog. Some people just foster all the time, just like people do foster kids. But a lot of times what happens is you foster the dog and you fall in love. You get a soul bond with this dog.
Yeah. Well, that's what dogs do.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of that happening. But
you ever met a dog that didn't wag its tail when you walked up?
I know.
I mean, except the ones attacking you.
Yeah, even then, they seem to really like it. They're into it. They're like,
Just
this
wagging like
is
crazy.
fun for us.
They chew on your femur.
That's like the guy said, like, do you think a cop dog knows that he's a cop? Like a canine dog. He just thinks like, well, this is fun. I got to take a guy down and chew on his arm. Does he know that he's a cop?
Right.
I don't think so. He just thinks like, I got some cheese after this. That was pretty cool.
Right. He's not thinking, I got to do my duty in the line of danger.
Yeah, it's not right.
Or danger in the line
danger
of
in
duty.
the line of...
Sorry.
Duty in the line of danger?
Danger in the...
Are you sure you want to be an author? If you want to find out more about John's books, go to dutyinthelineofdanger.org.
.com. Hey, Johnny, it's about that time.
Okay.
That's my quote of the week, the segment we call They Talked About That. Richard Sibbes, which I've quoted multiple times before.
Love Sibbes.
English Puritan theologian, born in 1577.
Okay.
So this is going to be interesting.
Old school.
Yes. And people have like, I don't know.
First of all, what are these women doing not wearing hats? Is that part of the...
well, growing up, like, I mean, when you read like Scarlet Letter and things like that, you think of Puritans or even like Pilgrims, or you think of those early as like, I think, very anti-grace. And truly, I think some of the best. There's a book called Gentle and Lowly by Dane Ortlund. Yeah. That's one of the, it's basically taking a lot of Puritan theology on grace and how God really feels about you. And I mean, I think we're very backwards on what a lot of these guys actually were teaching and writing at that time. Because some of, I think, the richest, the deepest viewpoint of God's love is there. But this is interesting because, so this is actually came from, I do one of these things, a Christian quote email among my other many quote things. And usually those are pretty reliable, but now I always check everything because, you know, the
we've had
outcry.
We've had a few snaffus over the
outcry on the podcast of,
you're platforming who?
Sorry about that. Seriously, our apologies were very sincere.
Oh, boy.
But
retraction incoming.
So I always check it, you know. And this one, it says it's a modern rendition. I can't find the original. I checked all my normal sources. So I'm going to read the modern rendition, then I'll read the one that I think it came from. Okay. I think they're both valid, but so this is not probably how Richard Sibbes actually said this in Middle/Old English in somewhere in the 1600s. But he said, or is purported to have said, if we could sin more than he could pardon, then we might have some reason to despair. If we could sin more than he could pardon. And I thought, well, that's great. The original quote that is actually verified is that there is more mercy in Christ than sin in us. More mercy in Christ than sin in us. I think I told the church the other day, I mean, I don't know if it's humanity or if it's my Enneagram 6isms, if it's my it's just general wiring and disposition, my sense of needing to self-improve or what those things are. But again, the hardest thing for me to believe is that I'm like beloved by God. And it's not, you know, I think again, it's not just like sins of commission, right? It's sins of omission, all the things I should be doing that I don't do well, and then the things I shouldn't be doing that I do. Yeah. It's, you know, it's Romans 7. And I mean, just I know this because I've been set free from this, but one does not remain free unless one remains near the thing that sets you free the first time. Right. So Jesus said you're free indeed, meaning like it's real, like it's actually free from these things. But the only way, again, I think you stay free indeed is to stay near Jesus. So you have to return. I don't mean you return because you lost salvation or all those things. I mean the confidence that comes in humility before Christ of his ultimate love for you. I've never met a person, and certainly I myself am not a person that I just default to that. Yeah. That there is again, what's the old analogy? We're walking up an escalator going down, right? So when I have to be in motion towards the up, or I will naturally be brought down. And by brought down, we would say into sin, yes, But I think the greatest sin that I live in is to not fully trust in the love of the Father for me.
Yeah.
I think that's where the sin really is, because sin, by its basic definition in Scripture, in the original languages, is to simply miss a mark or miss a target. I'm not downplaying it; I'm upplaying it. The major mark that I miss, the mark that Adam and Eve missed, was that the enemy could convince them that God really didn't have their good in mind. Did he really say you shouldn't do this? He just knows that if you eat that fruit, you're going to know everything like he does. He's keeping something from you that will be better if you don't go. You can't trust him. You should go your own way, right? That's the original lie that led to the original sin that I think still is the lie that leads us to live in this distance from God today. But if I really believe what Sib says, that there's more mercy in Christ than sin in me, it's a challenging thing, because I don't live naturally. I have to come to the supernatural place, which is hard to do. I have to reflect. I have to sit. I have to be in contemplation. I have to be in confession. I have to be in silence or solitude or something, even if it's temporarily for 5 minutes. The thing that brings me back, that's the hardest for my soul to believe, is also the most important, and that's that, like, if I really believe the Scriptures, that before I ever woke up this morning, he was already singing over me, right? That he's not like me. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't have to sleep. He doesn't run out of patience. He's not like me. But I'm judging his love for me as if he's like me.
Yeah.
And he's not. That's why I need him. I need to understand him more. And even though I don't need to understand him more, I need to trust him more, because I won't understand. But, and I tell the church all the time, of all the mysteries we could be a part of chasing, that Christianity chases mysteries now like it's a hobby. And I guess we always have. Well, do we go to church on this day or this day? We're going to live in that mystery. Is there going to be a literal rapture, or is that figurative? Is it going to be a catching away? Is it going to be in the beginning of a 7-year tribulation, in the middle of a 7-year tribulation, or at the end of one? Is there going to be a millennium? Has the millennium already happened? Are we in the millennium now? Like, we're in all these mysteries that Scripture doesn't come right out and say exactly what they're going to be. But there's so much about God's love for us that is not at all mysterious anymore, that Paul even says that, like, Jesus came to reveal the mystery.
Yeah.
And so that mystery revealed is that if you wanted to know the nature of God, now that you've met Jesus, that's the nature of God towards you. And now you don't have to be mysterious about it, but we still find a way to chase the mysteries, right, and ignore the stuff that's been answered.
Yeah. What's that great quote by Soren Kierkegaard about, like, the goal of Christian scholarship is basically to weasel your way out of doing what the Bible just says.
Yeah.
It's to try to find a way to squeeze it into your own ideology.
Yeah.
Instead of just, because there's a part of that quote where he says, if you just take a vow to just do the first 5 verses of Corinthians, you'll be like, my God, my life will be ruined. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we're desperate not to ruin our lives, so we try to fit God in this box. But yeah, I think that there's something to be said for that, of like, yeah, just like, what is our goal? What is our use for the Bible? Are we using it? Because I feel like it's become a real cudgel now of like, almost like it's worshipped.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of this thing of like Jesus is the message. He is the fulfillment of it. And so I just think, yeah, there's a lot there. That's good stuff, though.
Well, Sadie asked me the other day, like, she finally had this understanding. We were like, well, in 50 AD, 20 years after Jesus' ascension, roughly, they don't have a Bible.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, what? Yeah, they don't have a Bible. They have letters circulating. Because she's asking me, she goes, did you know there were books of the Bible that didn't get put into the Bible? It's like, I do know that. Yeah, let me talk to you about them. It's like, apparently there was a book of Mary, and I was like, yeah. So let me talk about apocryphal books, and let's talk about spurious, authorship, and let's talk about, but the strongest believers that ever walked the earth, who were willing to be thrown to the lions, did not have a bound Bible of all 66 books in the way that we do today. Yeah. Yet they had the Word, right?
Yeah, they had,
yeah. So I'm not anti-Bible, Johnny, like you are. I'm just saying.
Good grief. Why would you say that on record?
Sorry, guys.
Oh, let's close the show with my segment, John. Let's start with old jokes. We call it Joke About That. John, the man, stood before the judge, accused of killing and eating an endangered whooping crane. The man argued he thought it was a common sandhill crane, not endangered, and convinced the judge. The judge dismissed the case. As the man was leaving the courtroom, the judge, being an avid bird hunter himself, asked what the whooping crane tasted like. He said, "It tastes like bald eagle." John, yesterday, one of my best friends told me I often violate his personal space. It was a very hurtful thing to say, and it completely ruined our bath. That's one of my favorite kind of jokes.
Yeah.
It's totally normal until the very last word.
Yeah, completely absurd at the end. Yeah.
The very last word makes it a joke. I think that's a perfect joke.
Yeah.
It completely ruined our bath.
Yeah.
That's so perfect. What a great joke.
Yeah.
I never heard that one before. So good. John, let's do This Week in History. We call it Talk About Then. This week, John, 1994, Michael Moorer defeated Evander Holyfield for the title, making him the first left-handed heavyweight boxing champ.
Really?
Did not know that. It took until 94.
I would think a lefty would have an advantage.
And we came up in an era where if you were the heavyweight boxing champion of the world, it meant you were the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of splintered and it's MMA and it's all these other things. And it just doesn't mean what it meant when Mike Tyson was just roaming in the countryside, knocking out people.
Yeah.
Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, those guys. Even Muhammad Ali's era. You were the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah.
And this guy was the first left-hander in 94. Isn't that wild?
Wow.
Evidently, you are at a big disadvantage, or it's just very rare for left-handers, or they teach you to throw right-handed maybe, and you have a left, but your right is your strong hand.
I mean,
maybe.
almost
because
every
you throw with both, but I'm saying like that's your strong.
Yeah.
That's where you throw the hook or whatever.
I mean, I guess that they are protecting themselves with their most dominant hand.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is, because their right hand's dominant and you're coming in left, so they have more protection. I don't know.
But it seems like you said, that would give you an advantage if you're used to defending a certain kind of boxer, that a left-hander would have snuck in there way before 94. Anyway, I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah.
I think Michael Moorer was defeated later that year by a very elderly for boxing, George Foreman. Because he became the oldest champion. I think he defeated Michael Moorer in the mid-90s to become... Because he was like to come into the press conferences with big plates full of cheeseburgers and stuff. And he would say, like, I'm winning this. And everybody was rooting for him that was in their 40s. Because they were like, go get him, George. Big George. Kind of yeah, man. And
that's right before the grill, apparently.
Yeah. Well, it was mid... I was thinking that was mid-grill era. That was he was probably in the grill era. Because we need to confirm that with our producers that are not here. John, the Beatles member John Lennon... changed his middle name this week in 1969 from Winston to...
I don't know this one.
I would never have guessed it if you'd given me a million guesses. Oh, no. He took on Yoko's last name as his middle name.
Wow.
Yeah. Would you do that? You could be John Canada Driver.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be like...
I think it'd be an upgrade from my middle name.
What's wrong? What's wrong with Carl?
Well, it's nothing wrong. I'm just saying. It's not a common...
John Canada Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey, you just say the word.
John, this week, 2002, Elmo, the Muppet character from television Sesame Street, testified before the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Labor, Health, and Human Services and Education to request $2 million in federal funding for music education programs. We need more of this.
Yeah.
We need more characters.
Last week we had Winnie the Pooh go on trial.
Because we know
Elmo testifying before Congress.
Liz Winstead, the great comedy writer who wrote for The Daily Show, back in the day, she said politics is just Hollywood for the ugly. And she's got a point. It is Hollywood for ugly people. And I'm sick of C-SPAN. I'm sick of all the games. Let's have Elmo on.
Yeah.
Let's listen. If you're trying to raise money for education for children, have Elmo come on.
I want to see somebody yell at Elmo.
Yeah.
You know, just try it.
Try denying Elmo funds and see what happens. Yeah. Make Elmo cry. I yield the rest of my time to the distinguished senator from Louisiana. Oh, Elmo. You get a little misty when you think about it. That's okay. John, this week, 1985, Coca-Cola announced it's changing its 99-year-old formula, introducing what was to become known as New Coke. Less than 3 months later, due to public outcry and poor sales, they brought back the old formula under the name
Coke Classic.
Coca-Cola Classic. Did you drink New Coke? What would you have been? 85, you would have been?
I'd have been 8.
So do you think you ever tried a New Coke and were like, ugh?
Yeah.
Do you remember there being outcry?
I remember the outcry. I don't remember.
Were you a soda family? First of all, a lot of families aren't soda families.
Yeah, we would get Coke.
We were soda family, bro. My mom, I drink a lot of soda.
Yeah, well,
I'm working on some kidney stones over here. But my mom would drink a Coke every day. And so Coke, that was a big treat in our house, too. Yeah. We weren't like rich people, but we had soda. We didn't have soda in the bottles, but I remember walk down to the gas station, get a soda out of the soda machine. And it was a big deal. Like, Mom gave me $1. Let's go get a Coke.
You know why they did this, right?
You think so this is one of the conspiracies you believe, to drum up sales, to spike sales?
No. Oh. No, I've watched the documentary.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've watched Food That Built America, which is a documentary.
Okay.
So it was the first time in history that Pepsi overtook Coke.
Right.
And so Coke panicked and tried to make a sweeter version like Pepsi.
Yeah.
Because in taste tests, that's where they got it. Remember they do those blind taste tests on the commercials?
And some of y'all out here, what makes you different, you're trying to become like them?
Yeah, just because someone sold more. Wait, doesn't work for
you're about to make yourself a...
Some of y'all been blind in your taste test, and you need to take off the blindness. And so anyway, they would do the blind taste test, and they'd pick Pepsi every time.
Yeah.
And so, where they would every time. That's what the ads showed.
The Pepsi challenge.
And they got people going. They went and bought Pepsi more.
Do you know you probably saw this in the documentary, but I've seen further articles about the Pepsi challenge is that Pepsi tastes better by the drink. So if you sip a Pepsi and sip a Coke, you're more likely to choose it.
But you won't finish the Pepsi.
If you won't finish the Pepsi, it's too sweet.
Guys, it isn't that.
If you want somebody to drink the whole can, it's to be savored, that's a Coke. Coke every time. Coke is the best.
Guys, isn't that just, some of y'all.
Some of y'all out here just trying to be sipped, and you need to be savored.
Well, that's not exactly where I was going.
Is that not where are you going?
Well, I was thinking sin tastes good for one sip.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
But you won't finish
You don't want to finish the whole can of sin.
No.
I used to drink a 6-pack of sin every night.
I can't. John's testimony is wild out here. John.
It was Sin Classic, actually.
John, born this week, 1932. Sadly died in 1984, which is why he makes the list. James Fuller Fix. Do you know who Jim Fix was?
I do not.
He was an American author. He authored the book, The Complete Book of Running in 1977, which launched a running craze. He basically engineered the jogging craze of the 70s.
Yeah.
And he died of a heart attack while jogging.
Oh,
His book, The Complete Book of Running, launched a nationwide running craze, and he started running and quit smoking at age 35 when he weighed 214 pounds. Now listen.
Back then that was...
I don't like it when somebody's, I got to get my life together weight is my current weight. And it's kind of my goal weight. I'm like, I can't believe I was 320 pounds almost.
Yeah.
And here I am down to 215. I'm like, I'm doing good, man. And then they go, this guy got to 214. He's like, I got to stop smoking. I got to start running. I got to do something.
Yeah. Well, but you're 6'2" or 3.
That's true. We don't know this guy. Who knows what he was? He smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. 10 years later, when his book, The Complete Book of Running, was published, he was 60 pounds lighter. And the book sold over 1 million copies.
Wow.
It is believed he may have suffered a congenital heart defect as his father died of a heart attack at age 43. So this is probably not completely
unrelated to
But
running.
you know the people that wanted to just stay couch potatoes were like, this is what happens.
Yeah, this is why
you get out there and start running. I'm better off. And they keep smoking. They're chugging away at whatever they're drinking their 6-pack of sin.
Ugh. Diet sin by the 70s.
Diet sin. Yeah. John, finally, this week in 1980, the Pennsylvania lottery scandal happened. It was known as the 666 fix.
Oh.
And I've got several little factoids about it because I looked it up. I looked up further information about it. It was a rigged drawing on April 24th, 1980, where conspirators weighted ping pong balls to guarantee the number 666. Basically, they weighted down the 6s and the 4s and some of the 0s. And then they gave tips out to people these were anchors. These were some people who worked at the news station that ran the lottery. So they were involved, like longtime employees of the station. The conspirators included WTAE staff, host Nick Perry, stagehand Fred Luman, and art director Joseph Block. They replaced the official lottery balls with weighted ones, ensuring only 6 could appear in each of the 3 positions. Actually, I read that it was 6s and 4s because they, to make it a little bit more. So the suspicious betting activity was the reason they got exposed. Because the 666 was what was drawn, which is crazy. 666 is what came up. So that ought to have spooked everybody out. Should have right away.
And somebody won who picked that number.
It resulted in $3.5 million or roughly $13.68 million in 2025 jackpot. The suspicious betting activity specifically massive bets on combinations of 4, 6, and 0 in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh triggered an investigation. So it's probably like mobbed up people, to be honest. Okay. So they uncovered that 1.18 million of the winnings were linked to the plotters. Nick Perry and other conspirators were convicted and served jail time for the rigging.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
That's major fraud.
But there's a movie about it, Lucky Numbers, in 2000. John Travolta and Lisa Kudrow is loosely based on the scandal. I've not seen that movie, and now I want to watch it.
Interesting.
But do you know how they rigged the balls?
How do you wait?
Syringes full of paint, latex paint.
Huh.
So the balls are white. They put white latex paint so you couldn't see it in the ball.
Wow. And
you couldn't see the pinhole where the syringe had gone in. And so the balls would blow around a little bit, but they would drop quicker into the little slots.
Wow. And
666 is what came up, which is
exactly.
That's ominous in itself. They should have known. We're getting ready to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
We should have made 444.
Yeah, that would have.
Oof. Anyway.
Interesting.
Don't play the lottery. What I guess I'm saying is, forget what I said earlier about playing the lottery.
Yeah, now we're against
You're
it.
asking for trouble.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to rig it.
Don't rig the lottery.
Yeah. If there's one takeaway from the last 400 episodes, it's this. Don't try to rig the lottery.
Stop trying to rig the lottery.
Yeah. We've said a lot of things, but this may be the most important sort of PSA that we can give.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we're all about serving the public.
Yeah.
John, speaking of serving the public, where would you find all of our archived episodes?
You go to talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
So many over 400 episodes, and we'd love for you to just binge watch those while you're on your merry way this week. And I'm on my merry way on the Live and Laughing tour.
Yeah.
We're going to Magnolia, Arkansas.
You don't even know where you're going.
We're going to Jonesboro, Arkansas. I'm going to a suburb of Dallas called
Dallas, Arkansas?
Cleburne, Texas. Fort Worth area, and I'm going to Crosby, Texas, Saturday. So this weekend you have a few chances to see me, and my friend Adam Bush is coming with me, and my friend Christian McCartney. These are great shows, and this is one of the last weekends of the spring tour. We have one more weekend of the spring tour left before the bus tour wraps up, and then we hopefully retool for the fall. We got a bunch of fall dates coming out, but come see me. JonnieW.com is where you get those tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun show, guys. He's the best. And
I don't know about all that.
That's what I told the guy from Saturday Night Live. Sorry. That's what I told the guy from Jimmy Fallon when he called. I was like, yeah. You're like, whoa. Johnny, I've auditioned you for Saturday Night Live, so good luck.
If this all falls through, I'm just going to become a Santa.
Hey, there's apparently a market.
If you want to learn more about being a Santa, this is where you go. SantaSummit.com.
We don't know if that's...
I bet that's it.
Is that it?
I bet it is. Anyway,
guys, thanks for the time you gave us today. It meant a lot. Let's do it again next week, Aaron.
Talk about that.